Sergey Kovalev has defeated Artur Mann via 7th round knockout, and Sergey Kovalev has officially retired on a high. That is what we wanted to see. Delighted with that from Sergey Kovalev. I think after watching the fight as well, it is 100% the right time for him to retire. Plus, the guy's 42 years old now, but the most important thing is that we have seen Kovalev go out on a high, go out on a win. That's what we wanted to see. And, absolute legend of the sport, to be honest with you. He's done a lot overall. Former world champion, fantastic light heavyweight, unbelievable fighter, to be completely honest. Unbelievable jab that he's known for, especially as well. Unbelievable lead hook. His lead hand in general is absolutely fantastic, and that showed in today's fight against Artur Mann how good Sergey Kovalev's jab is. It showed, was setting traps all night behind that lead hand. Very good stuff from Sergey Kovalev. He was getting tired. I mean, after he dropped Artur Mann in the second round it was, wasn't it? After he dropped him in the second round, he fully went all out for it. Then he seemed pretty tired from round 3 onwards. I thought he lost the 4th round. Other than that, I thought he won most of the rounds. I thought Artur Mann was a bit of a moving punching bag overall, and Kovalev was able to get some good work off on him, beat him down, break him down, he was good at making Artur Mann tired throughout as well. Overall, it's a good win. It's a good win that he had in his final fight. And I'm very glad that he was able to get it. It wasn't looking good for him against Robin Safar. And I think that from then we knew one more fight, then that's it. And that is what happened. Got his final fight in Russia. Surprised it was actually in Russia with everything going on at the moment. But yeah, dominated behind that lead hand. Kept it going, doubled up on the jab nicely, got a KO as well, which is what we wanted to see. He got a good few rounds in as well. And put on a good showing in his final fight. And, showing quick hands. And what we like is to see, proper good legends go out on a high. And that's what happened tonight with Sergey Kovalev. The jab lead hook was very good. He was very good. Kovalev was very good at, starting his combinations behind his jab. Everything came off behind the jab. But I think it was before the last knockdown as well, where it all came behind the jab, ended behind the jab as well, basically. He's very good at landing combinations with the jab and ending combinations with the jab. It was very good to see from Sergey Kovalev, and it's what we wanted to see. It's exactly what we wanted to see at the end of the day. And another knockout on the resume. Happy days there for Sergey Kovalev. But, 42 years old, he's, getting slower, he hasn't got as much spite as he once had. He's not as sharp as he once was. There's not as much needle on his shots as there once was. And I think, that was due to inactivity a lot as well. And it was strange how, he had 3 years off since the Canelo fight. I feel like, that damaged a bit, and he could have stayed and done more, if we're being honest, Sergey Kovalev. But what he's done anyway in the sport is fantastic. And, again, you just like to see people like him end on a high. He's always had a good style. He's always been very dominant behind that jab. He had one of the best jabs in the sport at a point. A proper good legendary jab. And, I think wins throughout Kovalev's career, such as, Anthony Yard, that one massively stands out. Obviously, when he lost to Alvarez, beat him in the rematch, that's something that stands out as well. His 2 fights with Andre Ward, proper good fights they were as well. He lost both of them, but again, though, very good fights. And again, we just needed to see someone like Sergey Kovalev go off on a high, and that's what happened. He's had some big nights throughout his career. But again, inactivity, if he wasn't as inactive, he could have stayed and done even more in his career. But look, tonight was the right time to call it. Very clearly still, though, he's not able to operate at the highest level, and you still saw traits of that tonight. He can't operate at the highest level anymore. That was clear to see. But there were still traits of him, of his, high level attributes that he's got. And I said it's lead hand. His jab was lead hook. And the power from Sergey Kovalev is still there as well. That's what we wanted to see. He had Artur walking into big shots all night and was still able to set good traps. Even when he was tired, he was still able to go on. But a lot of it, because there wasn't loads coming back from Artur though. But, I mean, to be fair, when Artur did land, he did land pretty big on Kovalev. And Kovalev showed his chin and, took some big shots in that fight. Artur wanted to come forward. He wanted to make it pretty scrappy. But Kovalev was good at keeping composed. He was good at keeping composed, and that came behind the lead hand and always being able to keep composed. He always has huge He always has huge faith in that lead hand, and that's what's got him very far in his career with how he's been able to master the lead hand tricks, master the lead hand feints, master the jab, master the lead hook. That is something that has got him very far in his career. His counters are good behind the jab. The counter jab of Kovalev is good. And that showed tonight. The counter jab was still there. And yeah, he just ends combinations with it like no one else does. It's very good to see. And there were still traits of that tonight against Artur. So yeah, goes out on a win. That's what we wanted to see from him. But yeah, he slowed down now, and a lot of it was due to inactivity, but a lot of it is because, he is now 42 years old. But you do think, though, if he wasn't so inactive before that Robin Safar fight, or so inactive after the Canelo loss, then there could have been even more bigger nights for Sergey Kovalev because, the attributes that he has. I mean, as I said, best jab in boxing for many years at a point. There was more to be done for Sergey Kovalev, but, he's had a great career. He's a legend, and it was good to see him winning his retirement fight. Anyway, thank you for watching.